Hey yo, what is up guys, it's your boy Twa here. This will be a video covering the roadmap of April and May. Truth be told, everybody can read, so I will be briefly going over what they're going to add. But the thing I really want to highlight is how to prepare for this update. So first of all, there will be a new class, and one that I will definitely be playing because this is one out of 3 classes that I really want to play, and that is Glavier. Lastmaster, that's what it's called. I don't know how they murdered this name. I'm gonna call it Lastmaster from here on out because Glavier. Really? This is how we do this.
Glaivier.
Even Google Translate doesn't know what this is.
Glavier.
Oh, okay, all capitals are working. That's how you do it. So for the too long didn't read on the class, it has 2 counters, been playing it on the Korean version. Unfortunately, that one has been banned for obvious reasons. And on one of the stances, there's a counter that is quite similar to the Gun Lancer. So do note that whenever this class is coming out, the same day, I will try and get this to 1300, and the same day I will try and make a guide. Yes, that is ambitious. Yes, I want to make that stuff happen. And so Vern will join Punica as the second tier 3 continent, requiring item level 1340 to begin. Now this is very neat for many other things, because if you've seen my recent video that was talking about where to park your alts, and this somehow adds to the 1340 that I have been addressing. So if you got your alts or even your main, park them at least 1340 so they can do this continent. For newer players, we will be sharing more information on how to work your way toward a tier 3 and join this new event. But most of all is this single sentence, a Fatal Power Pass that provides item level 960 gear to your new Lance or any characters you'd like. Some quality of life improvements where secret maps will be shared. And I'm not sure whether this is to counteract the scamming practices that have been happening quite recently. But for one, the moment you enter a dungeon, it will then ask you how many maps you will consume, and then people need to click, and this way you don't have to run the same dungeon 4 times in a row if you want to run it with multiple people. So that in a sense is less time consuming. Very convenient to my knowledge, because I've been singing on these, and for the life of me I see no reason to do them right now for multiple reasons, which I'll come to in a second. Chat tab settings that will be shared across player rosters, which means that if you have a lot of alts like I do, you don't have to actually put every single one of them up. Luckily I haven't done that yet, so this will be quite convenient due to my laziness. Improved book of coordination settings. I tried using this once and I for the life of me could not make them work, so hopefully this will be better. And in May we are going to get the Destroyer. Now this is a class that I will not play, or thinking of not playing, but there's rumors coming about that within May the roadmap of the Korean version is actually coming to a stop, which means that the chances of them getting an overhaul to all of the classes and such, which could include Destroyer because it's kind of a gimmicky class right now, could be included. So are we going to get the new Destroy with maybe the new buffs, maybe the new overhaul, and how many of the other classes will get overhauled? That is something that I'm very curious about, but I can only speculate, so let's not go over to that much. Trial Garden raids will also be added, and one neat feature is that it has skill of harmony, so your character's item level will be adjusted appropriately to that of the enemy. And from what I know is that you can get a ridiculous amount of items from this. So this is quite good for the people who are still stuck in the tier 3 and cannot get to the 1370. I think this will be a great addition for you to catch up to the players to reach the 1370 as well. Rewards for each can only be obtained once per roster per week. More quality of life changes in May, including ability to check and weekly, daily content participation in a new menu. So normally when you press escape on the EU version, switch your characters, you cannot see what they need or what you still have to do. But in the Korean version, this has already been implemented, where you can see your daily quests, your chaos dungeons, your guardian raids and whatnot. So that is quite convenient, especially if you have multiple alts to run. But we also get a new guardian raid, which will require you to get 14-15 eye level. But I think one of the most anticipated items on this list is the Legion Raid Vault, and the very first Legion Raid that will be coming up for us also requires 14-15 eye level, so we have about 1.5, maybe 2 months to prepare for this. And I sure as hell am going to try to get that on the very first day. And to put the icing on the cake, and I'm not quite sure whether I should take this with a grain of salt or not, is a sentence. Once again, this is not all the content that will release in April and May, aka they're gonna give us more. Now, this sounds great and all, but for one, I don't get why they put this sentence in there, because it doesn't show the transparency that is needed from a company that just released their game. And why would they do it in the first place? Is it like, okay, but we will just wait until the community sees the patch, then reacts, watch the forums, and then we will band-aid everything that they think is bad? I'm not sure that's the right approach, but if you guys want me to elaborate on that, put it down into the comments, because I have a whole nother say into this. But now we're coming up at the most important part as to how you can prepare for this patch. Starting off with one of the biggest questions is, when is this patch most likely gonna hit? Now, if you look at your login daily event period, the 14th of April will be when the maintenance is gonna hit. This is also the time where the 9 days will be done on the Omen set. They will most likely release another new skin set that you will be able to buy. So I'm assuming the 14th of April will be when the patch hits. And I'm not gonna simply say like, oh my god, get your main character to 14-15 and be done with it, and so you can play all of the other stuff. That's great and all, but especially if you want to play the new Lance Master, there are a few things that you might want to keep into account. Knowing that you already start off at 960 eye level on your Lance Master, you also know that you start out in tier 2 that comes with certain items that you need to upgrade. So starting out with the things are the leap stones, which you will need a lot of in the tier 2. You can see that all of these honor leap stones, if you look at the average day price, have been going down quite significantly. The only ones that went up were the life leap stones, and those are mainly for newer patches. So the thing you can do is buy yourself life leap stones right now, so they will become more expensive later. You can sell them later on if you don't even want to play a Lance Master, but this might be a thing that you might want to consider. Now, if you want to see the most ridiculous thing out of everything, is the life shard pouches, both MS and the L part, where their average daily price nearly is times 1.5, which is absolutely crazy. Would I consider you buying them right now? Hell no. But the thing you could do is try get yourself at least tier 2 materials coming from your rift pieces to either make a ridiculous amount of gold, or once again, if you want to play Lance Master, do it like that. But knowing that these prices are absolutely ridiculous, one thing that you can do on one of your alts is just open up the tier 2 and farm yourself some guardian shards, so the moment that the patch hits, you will at least have 5 L life shard pouches that will save you a lot of gold in the process. But once you go to the PvP vendor, exchange material, go to the right side a little bit, you will find yourself 4 more pouches that you can acquire just before the patch. The one thing that I do not know is the fact that the destruction and the guardian stones will rise up in price as well. You can use this to your benefit if it actually does, because let's say if this even like doubles, then you can double up all your gold, and for one, you can save up a lot of your gold by just having these destruction stones in there. The thing that makes me very weary of this fact is they said they were going to help you increase your characters with more event materials, so I would not put all my money on this myself. It's something that you can think about. And one of the things that I've been hogging quite religiously are these material selection chests, and these are either for tier 1, tier 2 or tier 3, knowing that they will be used for tier 2, growing my Lance Master all the way through. That will be quite significant. I wanted to use this for my Reaper, but seeing as Reaper will not be coming out in the next 2 months, the chance of you getting more of these selection chests will be quite likely, and the gold inflation will be going up. So it will be easier for me to make my Reaper to tier 3 anyway. So this seems like a pretty decent investment to use these selection chests on that Lance Master. If you guys have any other tips which you might want to use to improve your very first day on your Lance Master, please put it down into the comments. If you found this video helpful, drop a like and sub, and I'll see you guys into the next one. Peace.